Yeah. Hi, Laura. Good morning. Yeah, it's morning. It's 10:19 in the morning here in Belgium. I was going to be here a bit earlier, but I was behind in the puzzle event, so I first updated that one. And that's now done. Hi, Susanna. Good morning. So, I picked out Jungle Kitty for today. And all the children are at school, so that was another great thing. Yep. So Jungle Kitty is this one from painefreecrafts. The lady with the leopard. And 400 by 344 stitches. The colors are not mentioned here. And I'm starting today with 18,510 stitches. It's stitched on 25 count even weave, 1/1 full cross. Even painefreecrafts says you have to stitch it 2/1 full cross, but I stick with my 1/1. Artwork is from Mikey Bugman. Yeah, that was it. So yeah, hi Janelle, welcome. So I know people have missed me. I told in my floss tube video why I wasn't able to come last week. My daughter was ill, my sons are having a cold, coughing. Then I was also not feeling good. So yeah, back here for another hopefully better week. So if you wonder which method I'm doing here, in fact I don't have really a method. This crown here is very confetti heavy. Then I just started to fill out my threads and then fill in the gaps here. So I still have a lot of bark threads. So I think I will first stitch those out from right to left. I think that's the thing I will do today. Yeah. So for talking, I don't really have a special subject in my mind for now. What is everyone else stitching, or is it too early to stitch? That's maybe also a thing. And of course, welcome everyone live and then the replay. I brought my coffee. It will be iced coffee now because it's already 3 hours old. Lara says I'm stitching Halloween Night from Tilton Crafts. That name rings a bell. Is it one with a lot of blue and pumpkins? Susanna says, I stitched a little of my printed kit this morning and now I'm switching to dictionary of coffee for a little bit. Okay. I was literally thinking of a dictionary, but it's probably an alphabet with coffees. Ah, that's the one. Yeah. Leon says, it's the one for that Leanne from Small Town Stitches is doing. That's why it rings a bell. I'm thinking more of my autumn whips. The chaotic stitcher says, good morning Siske, I never catch these. Happy to have got it this time. Welcome, welcome. And she's stitching Mini Alp from Heaven Earth Designs. Is that a lady? Alp? I don't know that. But yeah, Heaven Earth Designs has like, how many charts on her website? 8,000? I don't know. Ah, yeah. Suzanne said it's a boaty threads pattern with different coffee types in the cartoon style. Okay. Yeah, and I think it's funny. With funny sayings under it, wasn't it? Oh, and a lady for the chaotic stitcher. Yeah. It's always nice to see a lady, I think. Although I mostly stitch animals. I don't stitch often persons. I maybe try this because it's always moving around. I don't know why it's like this. Yeah, Suzanne says they have a lot of different of these dictionary of shores. Yeah, I think there's also one with dinosaurs, or was it one without saying? Oh, it's a long time. I watched their website. I don't really need new stuff, so I don't always look. Suzanne says, I also have the dictionary of tea and dictionary of cakes that I'm going to do eventually. The most kits I have from Body Threads is from the shoe collection. There's Sally King, Hannah Rendale. Yeah, and then I think and maybe Margaret Shelley. Yeah. No, they don't really go in Saha. I'm using this one in Pattern Keeper, but it's not very good either. Yep, I had the same issue with the seahorses I did, and what was the other one? The Diet Starts Tomorrow. I did a scan, but then it faded. In Pattern Keeper, it's not the best thing to use. That's true. Very true. I asked them for a PDF file and they said to me we don't give that. When I was teaching those two, so yeah. And in fact, the issue is because you wouldn't share your patterns. But if you have, in my opinion, if you have a paper chart and you want to share it with someone you can, you just copy your chart and give it to someone else. So, in fact, it's the same one that you can do with paper as with PDFs. What? As a PDF? That's new. Never heard they sold PDFs. Sky? No, never heard of that. I had one chart that I had as kid, and it was, the chart was for the bin. My cat found it, and it wasn't usable anymore. So I reached out to them, and then they sent me a new chart, so I could stitch it still. So that was nice of them. But it's already, 1 or 2 years ago. Yeah. And normally in the morning I stitch my focus whips. And I was like, I did yesterday 1,500 stitches on Kingdom. And I was like, nope, no, not the new focus whip in the morning yet. It's too early on next after Kingdom. So that's why I picked Jungle Kitty. Yeah. Suzanne says this is one of the projects I bought the roll embroidery for. Yep. Okay. I still didn't buy the other floss. I have an expensive month this month. I will be happy when it's over. And what's here happening? I think I'm pulling this frame down. I don't know what it is. It's like not horizontal. No. So in the weekends I try to spend time with my husband when he's at home. And Saturday I wanted to do another live. Wow. Suzanne says, I just made a huge order after a friend sent me a nice birthday present. That's lovely and very kind of that friend. So, and also happy birthday. Yeah, of course. I'm not all in the lucky way like that. Never ever. So I was saying, Saturday I wanted to do a live. But then my daughter was invited by a friend of school. So I had to drive her to that house. And I have to pick her up. Then I went for shopping. So the hours between she was with a friend and I was home was like 2 hours. I cleaned. I was tidying up and cleaning. So I was like, okay, I cannot do a live. And it would have been like a very short one. So that's why I ended up with no live this weekend. Friday I thought the same. Oh, I can do a live now after my floss tube. Then it was like, oh, it's only 2 hours. It's not long enough for a live stream. So yeah, I ended up with postponing it. I know people were saying under my floss tube video, we missed your lives. So apologies, but sometimes life happens. I think you all know that. And then instead of stitching Saturday, I crocheted. It was lovely to do that again after like years for amigurumi. That was easier to put away when I needed to get her. And I was so in shock. Yeah, Saturday I was so in shock. That house where she was invited in, the mother said, "Can you would you want a coffee?" So I said, "Yes, I want to have one." But yeah, I was so overwhelmed how beautiful that house was, how big it was. I was like, whoa. I didn't expect this. And hi Lydia, and I was like, really impressed. And I came home and I was like, I was saying to my oldest son, like, wow, I didn't expect that house. It was beautiful and big, and it was fresh painted. The furniture was all built in, so there was never in that house there was nothing as furniture separate standing. It was all built in. A nice island in the kitchen. Yeah, I'm still a nice garden. We don't have really a garden here, so I was like, whoa, I didn't expect this. No. And yeah, even the garden, then she had also vegetables in the garden, so it was really, really, really beautiful. Okay, I was like echt really, 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 really overwhelmed. I'm still thinking about that house. I think there was even floor warming in the floor. Yeah. And then I told my husband, like, wow, we are only living in a small row house. It's not big. We don't have a much place. We live here with 5 people, and the cats, of course, and the dogs. But still, I was like, they have plenty more room, and are there with less persons. So yeah, still like, wow. Something we never could pay for. Really. And then also last week I was also a shock. I had a phone call from my mother. I was like, she never calls. Yeah, I called her in June or something. And then she said she would come in July and she didn't come. So, okay, yeah. And then she called me and I was like, she never calls me. There's something wrong. So, first she was like, having a chat, nothing to worry about. And then, yeah, after a bit, she was saying, I have something to tell you. And he was like, okay, tell it. Because I was already expecting as, hello, I have news for you. And then at the end of the phone call, so after, how much time? Yeah, maybe 30 minutes about chatting over all the stuff, weather and stuff. And then she said, I'm going to move. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, going to move. But then she said, she and my father are going to move, of course. So I was thinking of a care home or something, because they are already in the 70s and my mother's in the 60s. So I was thinking she would go to a care home or something. No, they are going to move to my niece. And I was like, what? Why? Sky. So, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Shh. So she apparently, my niece bought a house, and she could have the one part of the house, and they got the other part. I don't know how it will be fixed, but I was still in shock. Yeah, and then I asked more questions about for what, when, where, everything, but still, yeah. And I was also a bit shocked. They didn't ask me something. They're just saying, "Oh, we are doing this." And then there was another thing she said, and she was saying, when your father was in the hospital, and I was like, I didn't even know he was in the hospital, but okay. I couldn't go every day because I cannot drive with my car anymore, and this and that. And I was like, okay, so first of all, you didn't call me. Second of all, I couldn't help you because I didn't know. And then the third thing was a fact that she was saying, oh, but you live 1 hour from me, so you don't have to come. So then I prefer to go to your niece, and she will help me out with everything. So in fact, I feel really past as child, I think. But then on the other side, they always say to me, "Hi, Ebony, you were an accident, so yeah, not really necessary, I think." So yeah, that's my family issues. So, like I said, I asked them several questions and nothing helped. I phoned my brother, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you have to go with it." And I was like, "Okay, so I cannot have an opinion. Just be silent and let them do what they want to do." He was like, "I'm all well okay with it. I'm okay." I was like, oh. So that was another thing of the week that really shocked me. The reaction about it from my brother, and also like I said, it's like, shut up and go with it. And then I was like, how? I cannot have an opinion. I cannot have to say something. I just have all to let it go. So I said to my husband, then they better hadn't called me. And then they said they would come this Saturday. So now Sky already nervous what they will say on Saturday, because they already were criticizing everything again, school for the children and that stuff. So yeah, that will not be a happy reunion, I think. Sky, stop. She is like this because Xante is at school, and she spoiled her a lot. So yeah, again, issues, family. Really? Stop. So that was live update, I think. Unless I forgot something. But yeah. And then I was listening to my books again to escape from this, I would say from the world, but from the worries about that. And my husband already said, I will work Saturday, so I don't have to see them. So yeah. Ebony says, I've seen this chart. It's now at Stitches Too Beautiful, but it says the artwork is by someone called Fairy Tales. Yep. First of all, I have that chart. Second of all, it wasn't great charting. Third, then when I had the message to the owner for that didn't work in Pretty Keeper, how would they call it? She was saying to me, you have to stitch it from paper. So I was like, that's no service at all. Then I tried to fix that chart in Pattern, but it didn't work. So after that, I think months later, because Sarah followed that issue, it was on Stitching with Pattern or something, and she brought it out again. She brought this one out again, and yeah, it's better charted. So I bought it again from painefreecrafts. And if you compare them, I did it with the other one who was stitching from Stitches to Beautiful, and this one is much better charted than the other one. I even can show you that. I will show it to you. And I don't know why they call it fairy tale. The artist, I don't know. The Chaotic Stitches says, we have a family like that. They never call, so when they do, you know they will be dropping news about something. Makes the small talk awkward because it's like, okay, what's the real reason you call? Yeah, it is really like that. She never calls. Then my brother said to me, if you want to know everything, you have to call each week. And I was like, I don't need that each week. Yeah, Suzanne, that's correct. I need to find the chat I had with someone. Here it is. So this here is the one from Stitches So Beautiful, and this is mine, of course. So I think you can see the difference in charting. Here on the leaves, it's more blobs than even a great leaf. So yeah, that's my experience, and that's always why I'm skeptical about Stitches So Beautiful. And I think after a year or two, she mailed me again with another chart of a better version of it, like that. So, no, I'm not a great, how would you say? They changed the artist. The first on the website was also Mikey Bergman, and then they changed the artist name. I don't know why it is. Like another thing, she had a chart and it was like, can you do it in max color version? And it was like, no, we can't because it is already a lot of colors. And that's our max. What chart was it? Ah, the one with the tiger. Yeah, what was the name? A lady with a tiger? Cheryl bought it. And you can see it was more block stitching than something else. So I asked for a better chart and it wasn't possible. So I didn't buy it. I forgot the names. So I have some of their art chart started, but I don't think I will stitch it. I have a beautiful place. I will going with it, continue with it. Floor Elegance, beautiful place. 2 started, I think. Yep. So, yeah. It's not my favorite charting company. So I think painefreecrafts spoiled us with the details in her charting. Suzanne says, what's your opinion on bluing whiskers? I really like that, but I'm kind of worried that's going to be hard to work on. Do you mean for the confetti or... Yeah. Well, Suzanne, what I can tell you about blooming whiskers. Blooming whiskers has like 100 colors. In comparison of head, and can inform you too about blooming whiskers, the Max Color Stitcher. It's only, you could say it's only 100 colors. Heaven and Earth max color is 240 colors. So I think if I have to compare blooming whiskers with an MC from Heaven and Earth Designs, it's Heaven and Earth Designs that's more difficult than blooming whiskers. Some parts, of course, have a bit more confetti, like was it the cat eye that I did? Yeah, for details. Like here the same, her crown has more confetti than here the flower. So I think it's more partial where it needs to be. Max Color Stitches says, blooming whiskers has a lot of confetti, but I think it's worth it because I love the artwork and I know the result will be amazing. Yeah, that's also true. But you stitch Max Colors too. If you have to compare blooming whiskers with another Max Color. Am I thinking of your charts now? Yeah, flowers, fur and feathers you cannot compare because I think there has more big items, like the bird was one big thing. Dragon Race, is that Max Color? Yours? Then you would say compare blooming whiskers with Dragon Race. Yeah. Did I park it? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really? Even it's 240 colors in comparison with 100? Max Color Stitches says, I would say it's similar to Dragon's Race Max Color in terms of confetti. Yeah, I think it's on parts. The one bloom. The hairs of the cats, yeah, you stitched of course the full size already. The full width. I have only one part done. I have one Peaceful Vibes Max Color, and it's really heavy. That I cannot do like even, I think, 100 stitches in an hour. Max Color Stitches says I have other Max Colors which don't have as confetti. It really depends on the artwork. Yeah. Of course, it isn't block stitching. That I agree. But if it's even that bad, Yeah, even the flowers can be delicate in stitching. I'm remembering the one I did here at the right. It was like all kind of small leaves in it. Suzanne says I like block stitching. Yeah, you don't have a lot of block stitching in Blooming Whiskers. That I can assure you. Max Color Stitches says Dragon Race has more block stitching in parts like the sky and the water, but Blooming Whiskers so far anyway hasn't had much. Yeah, like I said. Even the flowers are so detailed. That's great artwork though. Oh, wait. I have a mistake. Suzanne says it won't be for a while already. I already have a little bit ideas of what to stitch next. I want to keep my whips down because I just feel overwhelmed. And I ordered fabric and cloth for traveling library. Yeah, yep. Feeling overwhelmed. Oh. Was it this one? Yep. Yeah, and then I have to frog stitching. Max Color Stitches says I would expect traveling library would have a fair bit of confetti being an Amy Stewart. It is. It is. I have it too and I started it. So it is. Suzanne says, yeah, it does look like there will be some confetti. It's just so pretty though. Yeah, I think whatever chart this it or whatever the confetti is in the chart, if you like it, you will do it. It's this one. So here is my perfectionism. I have one stitch wrong. You could say you can easily stitch over it, but I prefer to frog 2 stitches and do it correct instead of fudging it. So that's my perfectionism. Oopla. Yeah, I don't Suzanne. Anne says I'm currently stitching on catnap in max colors and I haven't had much confetti so far. Yeah, I have catnap in regular, so... That was the other one I really like. Yeah, done. I will do it other round, so it's difficult. So, Lara says, me too, I bought in the sale the other day. Catnap or traveling library? Oh, catnap. Oh yeah, it's great short. And I think I found my new rotation. I was thinking about it and what I wanted and what I wanted to do. And I think I will just... what was it? My focus whip takes weekly. Then I have 3 whips. Today I call them pinned whips. And then the other days, it's my rotation whips, and there I have, how many was it? 16 or 20? 20 whips that I will rotate through 5 weeks. So I think that will be helpful. That's a new thing to try. I just did that this morning. So it's a fresh idea. One, two, oh, that's 3 already. Okay. This part, we will go down. 500 stitches on each. No. Kingdom, I will try for his 1500 weekly. Yesterday I could, so maybe I can do that next week on Sunday again. And then the other days I have 500 stitches on each. But I still have my temperature whips that I want to do too. So the kids are like feeling a bit abandoned. Suzanne says I split my full coverage and non-full coverage onto 2 wheels and I have enough for 2 weeks. Yeah, I have a lot, as you know, so I'm picking out. And the ones I really want to have finished on my wall. Three. Oh. Okay. There's another one parked here. Suzanne says, until I hear something outside. until I start traveling library, and then I start my Alphonse Mucha, I don't know, pieces first of the year. I will double up on a couple of things. Okay. Yeah, the children's whips get always 500 stitches normally in a week. So it's just Kingdom that really is like 1500. My husband said, I was counting yesterday, and I will not reach my 66,000 stitches even if I do my 1500 stitches a week. Yeah, that would be awesome. So I needed, in fact, to do 1,750 stitches each week for my 66,000 stitches. That I would have the same done as last year. And then my husband said to me, no, you can do only 1,000 stitches too. Then, if that's better for you. So then you will postpone your ending date, but okay, yeah. And I could, because I had a lot of black on Kingdom to do. So that was helpful. But I don't think I will get that each week done. Suzanne says Primrose and Feather from Tilton Crafts. Okay. Also a chart that I don't use a lot. Shorting company. The Chaotic Stitcher says, my current rotation, I threw all 92 whips into a wheel. And whatever it lands on, I do 10% on it. Sometimes that's only really 1,000 stitches, and at its worst, it will be 59,000. Whoa. I love seeing the bigger chunks of progress finally on some of these old whips. Wow. I cannot imagine 59,000 stitches. I think I would throw it out of the window. If that's like you have to do that. Oh no. No, I would run away. Then I would have to change my name to the Runaway Stitcher. Really, then I would run away. Yeah. So the 6 I picked as pinned whips are getting 1,000 stitches a month, and then the other rotation on the 20 gets 500 a month. So, yeah. Yeah. Stitches. I don't know. I didn't count the stitches. I just thought of my routine. Like I said, 500 focus whip, 500 pinned or wheel whip. Pinned or wheel whip is already 1,000 a day. And just maybe, yeah, I would say the Sunday now I did 1,500 stitches on Kingdom. But that wasn't really counted if I would have stitched 3 days on Kingdom. So, yeah. And Saturday I didn't stitch. So, yeah. But then on Friday I stitched 1,400 stitches with temperature pieces with it. Not all, but some. It's also possible that I do after this one another one for my rotation and not a focus whip because I had an overdose with Kingdom. Suzanne says, I'm glad I stopped with temperature stitching because all week it's going to be a high of 14. Yeah, I said you can put them on the wheel too and just spin it if you don't want to follow the temperatures. Like a small wheel whip thing. But if you can pick from your mood, that's even better, I think. Ah yeah, okay. So that's what I did, and it's much nicer. I got to work on things I hadn't worked on all summer. So yeah. If that's possible, why not? Like I said yesterday, I pushed really hard to get to my 1500 on Kingdom. And it was already midnight, and I was like, yeah, I'm now going to sleep. I didn't had even the courage anymore to do another temperature one. So I left it out. We will see. I try. Another thing I said to my husband Saturday. I said that before I was crocheting octopus amigurumi for premature babies. And I was like, oh, why can't I don't stress about my crochet stuff like I do about my stitching. I can have it loose. I don't stress about my crochet as much as on my stitching. It's really strange. And my husband said it's because with your crochet stuff that you make for the little babies, it's because you can finish it easier. And I think he's right. If I work like on 4 hours on that little octopus, I have it finished. Laura says, I'm trying something with my whips. I stitch diagonally and I'm not changing project until I complete the full diagonal. It's not that much with the newer projects, but some of them take thousands of stitches. Yes, true. And especially if you do it like not by page diagonals, but for real length in your Q-snap, for example. So I can understand that too. Mm. And here I have a lot of sparked threads because apparently I have double sparked. So that's another thing. See, I have again doubles. Oh, my repair needle is here wrinkled. Yeah, stitching, rotation. Three. colorful stitching. So how many whips I would have then? I'm thinking 20 from the wheel, 6 that I rotate 2 weekly is 26, and then the 5 focus whips with flamingo is 31. So that's, yeah, without temperature. So with temperature we have 36. And Tommy 37 whips that I'm switching around. It still sounds a lot. And if it will work, I don't know. I need to try it out. So and I tried to have it as how would say, light enough, then stress about it. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I tried it, you know. It's try and error until I find what I want, what I need. Oh. I have a pocket there. Ale, yeah, that's simple I need. Another thing that I love about barking when you are stitching them out, like now I can keep stitching and I don't need to take new threads all the time. They are there. So I just have to stitch them out and bark again, or get them out if they are not needed anymore. Two. That's here. Yep, there and then. Two. Three. Two. And I'm also waiting until the new chart gets released from painefreecrafts. The two cats in the roses. So that's another one I will buy, definitely. And the black cat I really want, but still it's not charted. I asked him that already for a year now, so hopefully that comes too. Max Color Stitches says, I really want that one with the black cat. I hope it's soon, but it doesn't sound like it will be if you have been asking for a year. Yeah, but also the reaction, she was like, I have those two. But not really, as I will chart it after this one, you know? And the black cat one would be perfect for Halloween, eh? Yeah. And I think she's like already getting tired of me because I keep asking. Oh, you have a black one. I thought you only had one cat. Sophia? I didn't know you had two cats. Anne says I have a black cat, which is why I want that one. She looks like my Bella. You know I have 10 cats, so 2 of them are black. Then I have some black and whites. Bella here, the Siamese is behind me. The dogs are with me on my lap. But Bella can be a very drama queen. If like there's a cat close to her, she is already like, leave me alone. Oh. I didn't think that you talked about Bella in your videos yet. Can that? Is it possible? I know, so I saw yours from yesterday and it was about Sophia. No, of Sophie. It was Sophie. Why do you make it Sophia? Oh, they are sisters. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah. Possible, very possible indeed. Is it weird that I keep that I remember the cat names of floss tubers like Mr. Whiskers from Jen and Gracie Lou, and then yours, yeah, Sophie. See, Sophie, and then Smokey from across Sarah, the Stitchy mom. Sophie is really like my daughter's cat. She will lie in her arms like a baby and stay there for hours. She won't let me hold her for long. Oh yeah, I had that with Stitch. At the vet. And Stitch is better. He's healed. His eyes are now good. His lip is also healed. So the abscess is gone. That's a good thing. He eats a lot again. He's, yeah. Milou, our black cat, was normally assigned to a lawyer, but then at the end, because the shelter lady wasn't available at his call, I would say it like that, he said he refused her. So then she was available again to find another home. So then I took her, but she was, how would you say it, fed with a bottle. So she is really like a baby. She really wants to be with you, to be held like a baby. That's really a baby. She really likes the human company. Yeah. And she needs that too. She needs to be the contact, or to have the contact. And like Bella, here behind me, she was like more alone. But the last period, she was always want to be with me, behind me. If I'm at the couch, she wants there to be with me. If I'm at bed, she's also laying behind me. Now again in my stitching seat here. So I don't know. She changed in that. Wow. Suzanne says my old cat loves being carried around in the baby carrier. Oh. Why not? Why not? If they love that. That's here. Cats. And dogs. I cannot have more cats anymore, so I love to stitch them. Suzanne says, I used to have a pair of maternity overalls with the bib, and she used to loved sleeping on top of my belly in the bib part when I was pregnant. Oh, yeah? When I was pregnant of my children, they were like, I was smelling. They were not reaching out to me. Only my dog was always with me. But the cats were like, you stink. That was another thing. In the 3 pregnancies I had, was Xana always with me. She was very, very loyal. Wow. Suzanne says she escaped the apartment and I never could find her. And then I couldn't replace her, so I haven't had a cat last 16 years. Yeah. It's hard to lose them. I know. I have a fun story. When I lived in the hotel with my parents as concierge, I had a cat. His name was Jules. And then one day, he was missing. So he was sometimes in the pipes walking on the 5th floor. And it was like, oh, I hope he wasn't fell down. But then we would find him or on the roof of something. Or in the plants bowls. He was also walking. So nothing there. Then I searched on the stairs in the hotel, 5th floors, downstairs searching. Jules, where are you? Nothing found. So I think a week. Yeah, I think it was a week that he was missing. And I was like, he cannot be away. He must be here. I don't know where, but he's somewhere here. And then after a week, I heard him. I was like, I hear him. He's here. So then I followed his meow. And I found him on a hotel room. Or even better said, in a hotel room. And that room was occupied. So there was someone sleeping. And I was like, how did the hotel guest didn't notice there was a cat here? So he was locked in all the time in that in that room. And yeah, then I picked him up. He was okay. I thought he was hungry, but yeah, he was okay. I think he had water from the toilet because it was left open that he dared drink. Yeah, he survived that. So then I was reunited again with him. And then when I moved in with my parents-in-law, he couldn't come with me. So then he stayed with my grandparents for a couple of years. And I got him back when we moved alone. We were married already. And then he stayed with me until he passed. But he passed because he had eaten a mouse. And that mouse was poisoned. So he was killed by the poison too. And I was that moment pregnant of my daughter. And my husband said, you cannot say goodbye to him because you're pregnant. And I was like, what? You cannot deny me that. So I said goodbye to him. Ja, mijn Juleke. He was one of the best cats ever. It was also strange. He went missing normally, and then during night or evening he was walking around in the neighborhood. In the morning at 7 a.m. he was back. He came back through the garage for his food. So every morning he was there. And one morning, it would have been hard. So the morning he wasn't there, I said to my husband, Jules isn't here, so there is something wrong. And he said, oh no, he will come back. And I said, no, he is not here anymore. And he was like, how can you know that? You don't have his body or something. So until you didn't find his body, he's still alive. That was what he said to me. And I said, no, I can feel it. He's not here anymore. So with my thick belly, I went searching for him, the whole neighborhood around, with my oldest son in the baby carrier. Everyone asking, did you see my cat? Did you see my cat? I made papers, posted messages on Facebook, everything to find him. Nothing. I asked my neighbors, nothing. And then one day evening, my neighbor called. I rang the door, and then he said, I think I found your cat. He was in his shed. So my husband went with him and brought him home in a box. And he was like, no, you cannot see him. And I was like, why not? Ah, yeah, he's dead. And I said, yeah, and? So, yeah, and? Ah, yeah, no, you're pregnant and you cannot see him to say goodbye and all this. And I was like, what? No, because I already knew he was gone. And I was like, I will say goodbye to him. So I did. So he couldn't refuse me that. And normally, like if a person is not here anymore, I cannot touch it. With my animals, I don't have that. Really strange. That's another real strange thing. I think think it's also because I feel responsible for them. And I will be with them when they go. So that's my last thing that I can do for them. So I think it's that more than, yeah. I don't want them to be alone. Even it's devastating. I knew when my Xana had breast cancer, and the vet said to me, "You cannot help her anymore. The tumor of the breast was open, so, and her heart was also not good anymore, and so on and so on." And she said to me, "Yeah, the best thing that you can do is to let her go." So I was like, okay. And then she said, "You can leave the room if you want." And I was like, "What? You want me to leave the room?" No, not at all. So I said to her, I stay with her until the end. And she was like, the most pet owners don't do that. And I was like, she will not go alone. Nope. I have loved her for years, and I will do that for her too. And then, yeah, she went. And it was again devastating and hard and difficult, but still, yeah, it was my place to be with her. So, yeah, that's sad. And have here a thread that I don't recognize. Or is it this one? That's not green. She says, yeah, one of my dogs had cancer and I was with her when they put her down. Yeah, it's the hardest thing to do, I think. But yeah. With Streepje, in February I wasn't there because my husband took her to the vet when the vet said she had liver failure. So there I couldn't be with her. So he was with her. Yeah. She wasn't alone. Yeah. And then the vet said, "Oh, if you want to bring her to the, what is it called? Crematorium, you can let her pick up." And I said, "No, I take her with me." So she came home again. So I said goodbye to her then, and the children too. And then I brought her to the crematorium the next day after. So, yeah. Is it green? No. So, yeah, cats and dogs. And they had a while no cats at all. And then my mother was like, "I'm going to Egypt for 3 months. Can you take care of my cat?" And then she stayed. So yeah, because she was like 3 months in Egypt, 1 month back and 3 months again back in Egypt. So that was not a life for that cat. So and then she stayed. I think it was after you that I said I don't want cats anymore. Because of the pain and all the sadness when you have to let them go. But yeah, see, I have now 10. Yeah. Now I'm talking about cats and dogs, but of course, it's whatever pet you have that you lose it. At warm sky. Two. Green, green grass. Oh. What time is it? Almost time to wake up my husband. Suzanne says, I'm switching to another project, rearranging everything to get settled. How do you mean that with rearranging? Oh, this one is on down. I think everyone is going for lunch or something, or preparing lunch. Still need to think what I will eat. Oh, this one is on a scroll frame, so I changed the adapter to my stand and moved my cabinet closer. And Suzanne is going to the store later, but I'm going to stitch a little bird first, she said. Yeah, I think I will take a break. So I will wake up my husband, that he can wake up. Eating lunch. Preparing for the dinner this evening. And if I can, then come back later. Because he loves to have a chat before he goes to work. As we don't see each other a lot to talk. There is something wrong here and I don't know what. That's... Oh, I'm missing stitches here. That's the thing. From the one I just stitched. So, what will we do? Oh, I don't return. That's another thing. I don't know yet. What I will do. Oh. First, I know that I have to take the break. No. So. That I will do first. And then you will see. If I come back today or tomorrow, I don't know yet. I don't have a lot to talk about anymore, I think. Yeah, that's correct. No. Two. Two. Yeah, and when I got the messages as I missed your live streams, I was like, I'm not that exceptional. I'm just a person, not special. So I will do the last 16 stitches and then I will get my husband a week. Oh, he is already awake. It's possible that he set his own alarm. He worked last night, so he was late back this morning. So he didn't sleep a lot. So I tried to leave him a bit longer. He... Yep. So this is 200 stitches I have done so far. Where I will end for today here in this video. So I'm still not certain oh wait, there is a mistake. Of course there is. Okay. What do we need? Still putting this right. When you want to go faster, you make mistakes, that's certain. This takes time. Yeah. So it's this one and here. Oh! Anne says I got my 500 stitches done on catnap, so now I get to change whips. Does it take you a long time to do the 500 stitches? Or does it depend on the chart? Oh. Whoa, that's fast. 2 hours for 500 stitches? And now I think 2 hours live and I did 200. So then I'm very slow. I think Paris Morning is also an easy stitch. Suzanne says, but you have also been chatting. That's true. Thinking, talking, and yeah, it's difficult. That's true. Yeah, first calling my husband. It seems you don't want to that I leave you, eh? That I have to stay here. Hmm. 4 hours for Dragon Race for 1000 stitches? Had hij opstaan? Het is 11:15. Tot ziens. Ja. So 1000 stitches in 4 hours? That's not possible, I think. It's an easy stitch. Okay. Okay. So what should I do? Stop here the video. I come back later. Or what is the best thing? Tell me. And I need a coffee. It's empty. Oh, 4 hours to 500 stitches. So yeah, that's okay. Suzanne says I probably should go shopping and then I can stitch more in a little bit. Yeah, so maybe it's better to take a break and come back later. But I probably need to swap my project then. Maybe. I still have 300 to do. Was it a ghost, Lisanne? Is it a ghost? It's too early for Halloween. I think it's a ghost. It's like purple with white. A shrug emoji. Okay. I was asking what I should do. Taking a break and come back later. Because I still need to have the lunch. Ah, okay. It means I don't know. I don't know either. What's the best thing? Or just keep stitching and come back tomorrow. That's another thing. Je ziet er nog moe uit. Ja, en niet lunch en dicht. En koffie. But yeah. I cannot keep the camera going, eh? It will take too long. Ah, dank u. I think it will be an hour, half hour between. So the question is, oh, it's already 8:20. Okay. I will come back later with part 2 then. But I first need lunch break. So, yeah, I'll see you back in a bit then. Is it that good? Is that fine? I think so. So if not, thank you for being here. And otherwise, I'll see you later in the second part. And then I hope you to catch another time. So for now, I will say have a nice break and see you later.